Greetings to tennis aficionados, sports fans, and all viewers from around the world. Right now, a huge narrative is emerging from the California desert. A story that is presently dominating sports headlines throughout Asia and sending shockwaves through the whole worldwide tennis community. In its second round, the 2026 BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells, often dubbed to as Tennis Paradise, saw an incredible event. The 64 round. Today, China as a whole is practically in a state of shock. Zhang Shuai, the renowned Chinese veteran who invented contemporary Asian tennis and was a triple Grand Slam quarter-finalist and doubles champion, has been gloriously overturned. And Alexandra Eala, a 20-year-old rising star from the Philippines, was the mastermind behind this amazing upset. You are witnessing the start of a whole new era in women's tennis if you are just getting started. With a career-high world rating of number 31, Alexandra Eala came to Southern California riding the ultimate crest of a wave. She recently gave a masterclass performance that will be remembered for years to come. This was more than a tennis match. This was a generational conflict, a passing of the mantle, and a declaration to the entire WTA tour that the powerful Filipina is here to take the throne. Eala had a first round by going into this tournament as a seeded player for the first time in a WTA 1000 event. There was a great deal of anticipation. She was anxious to find out if she would take against the seasoned Chinese legend Zhang Shuai or the dangerous Ukrainian Diana Yastremska. The stage was set for a much-awaited all-Asian match after Zhang won her opening round match. However, nobody, absolutely nobody, could have foreseen Alexandra Eala's utter supremacy and the amazing caliber of tennis she would display on the Indian Wells Tennis Garden's hard courts today. We must examine Zhang's enormous stature in order to fully comprehend the significance of this outcome and the reasons behind the Chinese sports media and fans' extreme surprise. Zhang has been a dominant figure, a shining example of excellence, and a fierce contender on the WTA Tour for more than 10 years. She is a player who has persevered through incredible hardship, ending losing streaks that would have terminated the careers of less accomplished sportsmen, only to rise like a phoenix and excel on the largest platforms in the world. She is a national hero in China, a doubles Grand Slam champion, and a superb singles player who has repeatedly graced the second week of majors. The 37-year-old veteran was far from done, as evidenced by her recent comeback, which included an incredible performance at the Merida Open where she shot up the rankings. She brought a very heavy ball, cunning, and experience to this match. However, she encountered a buzzsaw today. She met a 20-year-old Filipina who plays with the composure of an experienced professional, the pure power of a real modern baseline slugger and the tactical brilliance of a chess maestro. This match wasn't merely won by Alexandra Eala. She destroyed a myth. The entire tennis world is stunned by Eala's score line, execution, and pure athleticism. Without a question, the streets of the Philippines are bustling. Social media is ablaze. Millions of Filipino fans feel a sense of pride that goes beyond the sport itself. Eala is winning more than just tennis matches. She is maybe changing the center of Southeast Asian tennis on her own, carrying the aspirations and hopes of an entire country. Let's pause to appreciate the amazing mood that pervaded this game. Indian Wells is renowned for its gritty, sluggish hard courts, which require a great deal of stamina, patience, and top spin. Even the strongest champions are tested by the swirling winds, the glaring sun, and the desert air. But Eala appeared completely at ease. Eala entered the court with a definite, steadfast strategy after carefully preparing alongside emerging players like Salana Sierra and tour veterans like Laura Segent. It felt more like a Grand Slam final than a second-round match because of the electrifying combination of ardent tennis enthusiasts and a sizable, boisterous group of Filipino supporters waving their flags. Eala skillfully basked in that energy. The loss is only one aspect of the shock in China. It has to do with how the defeat was handled. Jingai is renowned for her flawless timing and her capacity to change direction. However, Jinang's weaponry were totally neutralized by Eala. Today, Zhang Miles was hauled off of court by the Filipina's characteristic left-handed forehand, which was an absolute weapon of mass destruction. Eala's defense was an unbreakable wall, a skill she has always worked hard to develop. Every time Zhang believed she had hit a perfect winner, Il was there, slipping smoothly across the hard court, taking in the speed and returning the ball with even more venom. It was an impressive demonstration of elite counterpunching combined with contemporary first-strike tennis. For Alexandra Eala, this triumph marks the end of an incredible 12 months. Let's take a quick look back to enjoy this incredible ascent. She was working hard on the ITF circuit a year ago, competing in smaller events, and attempting to overcome the tough top 100 barrier. Then came her amazing wildcard run at the Miami Open in 2025, where she stunned Grand Slam winners Madison Keys, Yelena Oropino, and Iga Swiatek. At that moment, she demonstrated her ability to compete with the top players. She went on to win a WTA 125 title in Guadalajara, her first WTA Tour final on Eastbourne's grass courts, and historic main draw wins at the US Open and the French Open. Eala has quickly gone from being a highly regarded Rafinadal Academy prospect to a legitimate top-tier challenger. She just made it to the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships last month, defeating world number 8 Jasmine Paolini in the process, demonstrating how well her style of play adapts to the fast, hard courts of the Middle East. She has now transported that momentum to the desert of California. Eala's prestige is greatly improved by defeating a player of Jingai's caliber, who is highly respected in the locker room and throughout the Asian continent. The remainder of the draw receives a terrifying message from it. This player is no longer merely content to be here. This is a player who anticipates victory. The abrupt, indisputable understanding that a new Asian tennis queen is quickly taking the throne is demonstrated by the utter shock that is currently permeating the Chinese tennis community. With a daring, relentless style of tennis, Alexandra Eala is spearheading the aggressive assault against the status quo. We'll examine the specifics of how this occurred. We will examine the match's pivotal moments, the 20-year-old Filipina's statistical dominance, the tactical subtleties, and the implications of this enormous outcome for the WTA Tour. The ramifications of this round of 64 match extend well beyond a single tournament as we move closer to this esteemed WTA 1000 event. They indicate a significant change in the regional power structure of professional tennis. So settle in, get a drink, and get ready for an in-depth analysis of the match that rocked China and solidified Alexandra Eala's place in the world of tennis. Let's move on to the core of our study and examine what actually happened on the Indian Wells courts today. We must examine the tactical battle that developed from the outset in order to comprehend how Alexandra Eala stunned the world and destroyed Zhang Shuai. At this level, tennis is like fast-paced physical chess. Jingai loves rhythm and has a lot of experience. She can use her superb hand-eye coordination to reroute the ball flat and deep into the corners because she enjoys it coming at her at a steady speed. When Xiang is ready to set up, her backhand down the line is among the most exquisite and deadly shots on the WTA Tour. It's obvious that Eala and her coaching staff completed their study. Eala's main goal was clear from the first ball she hit. Give Zhang Shuai no rhythm at all. How did she carry this out? The serve was the first step. Over the past year, Eala's serve has significantly changed. It is no longer merely a means of introducing the idea. It is an active weapon. Eala has an inherent advantage because she is a southpaw, especially on the ad side of the court. Eala completely dragged Zhang off the court with a heavy slicing out wide serve today, creating a ton of room for Eala's devastating first ball forehand. It wasn't only the wide serve, though. It was the absolute unpredictability. Eala combined high-kicking serves with forehand wings. The Chinese veteran is typically forced to hit from unusual heights above her shoulder due to Zhang's slightly less stable side under pressure. The Chinese legend is most dangerous when she steps inside the baseline and dictates play, but this placed Zhang on the defensive immediately after the return. Eala demonstrated a level of point structuring that belies her age of 20 as the rallies continued past the opening few shots. Raw force is frequently insufficient to get past an experienced defender like Zhang on the sluggish, high-bouncing hard courts of the Indian Wells Tennis Park. To push your opponent back, you need a lot of top spin. To drag them wide, you need exact angles. Eala fully pinned Zhang far behind the baseline with her powerful looping forehand. Eala was constantly hitting the ball with a very high trajectory, which made it bite into the court and jump violently. Because she can't find the clean, flat contact she needs, Zhang, who prefers the ball lower in her strike zone, found herself reaching and shanking balls all the time. Eala's backhand has also become an absolute rock. In the early stages of her career, opponents would constantly focus on her backhand in an attempt to create mistakes. Eala used her two-handed backhand as a sword today in addition to a shield. The Filipino was prepared when Zhang attempted an aggressive change of direction and hit cross-court to the Eala backhand. She squatted low, held her ground on the baseline, and ripped the ball down the line with amazing accuracy as she skillfully absorbed the pace. On several occasions, Zhang was caught completely off guard by these quick direction shifts. However, Eala's physical superiority was perhaps the most startling feature of this encounter and the one that has definitely left the Chinese tennis establishment reeling. Jingai is renowned for her extraordinary strength and perseverance. However, Eala appeared to be the better athlete in every way today. Out of the corners, Eala was quite explosive. Her coverage of the court was outstanding. Zhang made multiple attempts to disrupt Eala's baseline rhythm with the drop shot, a strategy that Zhang has previously used to defeat influential people. However, Eala skillfully foresaw them, charging ahead at breakneck speed, reaching the ball in time, and making deft, slanted passing strokes that caused the audience to erupt. Let's also discuss the young Filipina's mental toughness. It can be extremely intimidating to play a sporting legend, particularly one from your own region. A younger, less experienced player may have been easily overwhelmed by the pressure of playing in their first main draw match at Indian Wells, the strain of being the newly crowned world number 31, and the pressure of a large, expectant fan base. But Eala showed a horrifying serenity. Zhang Shuai dug deep at times during the match, making amazing passing shots and displaying flashes of the skill that has earned her a multiple Grand Slam quarter-finalist. In the past, a novice player might have rushed, overhit, or panicked after losing a few straight points to an experienced player. Eala didn't do any of that. Between points, she took her time, went to her towel, pictured her patterns, and returned to the baseline with complete concentration. She had the emotional control of a tour veteran with 10 years of experience. The break points were where this mental toughness was most noticeable. In contemporary tennis, a player's performance on break points frequently determines whether they win or lose. Eala was quite clinical today. She did not go into a protective shell when she had the chance to break Zhang's serve. She took the initiative, arrived early, and set the conditions of the encounter. On the other hand, Eala regularly drew weak, short returns that she easily put away, relying on her cleverly disguised first serve to save herself when she was under pressure on her own serve. This match's significance extends much beyond its technical and statistical superiority. The old guard has suffered a psychological setback. Players like Sonia Mesa, Lina, and Zhang Shuai were the unchallenged queens of Asian tennis for many years, establishing the norm and clearing the path. They demonstrated that Asian athletes could compete at the greatest level of the sport, win Grand Slams, and hold the top doubles rating. The routes that these legends have paved directly benefit Alexandra Eala. However, Eala made it clear today that she is no longer only imitating them. She is actively claiming the throne and forging her own history. Jingai is an institution for the Chinese viewers back home. She stands for a time of unmatched achievement and perseverance. It is startling to witness a 20-year-old from the Philippines methodically dissecting her. It compels one to acknowledge that the terrain has changed irrevocably. The base of power is growing. Eala has spent years honing her trade at the Rafinadal Academy in Morca, and the result is a perfect diamond. Eala has blended the explosive, aggressive hard-court striking needed to win major tournaments today with the dogged, grinding Spanish clay court attitude. We also need to talk about the tournament's context. Many people refer to the BNP Paribas Open as the fifth Grand Slam. The draw is fully stacked. All of the world's best athletes are present, vying for one of the sport's most coveted awards. Eala has overcome a significant obstacle by making such a dominant advance to the round of 32. Her top 30 seeding has been confirmed. She has demonstrated that her first round was a well-deserved right rather than merely a benefit. In the future, this triumph creates an immensely alluring opportunity. Eala's victory today puts her in direct competition with American legend Coco Gauff, a fourth seed, in the third round if the draw continues. Eala received a severe lesson from Gauff just a few weeks ago in Dubai, where he thoroughly defeated her in the quarterfinals. Eala couldn't handle Gauff's overwhelming defense and amazing athleticism that day. However, Alexandra Eala appeared to be a totally different player when she faced Zhang Shuai today. She appears more focused on the particular requirements of the hard court, sharper, and more hungry. The whole tennis world will be watching if that rematch happens. The fervently loud Filipino diaspora that follows her around will also have to contend with the electrifying Indian Wells crowd, which is probably strongly supporting the home favorite. It's going to be a huge hit. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today is Alexandra Eala's. It's important to acknowledge the enormity of what she just did today. She did more than simply prevail in a tennis match. Across the Pacific, she delivered a powerful message. She declared to the globe that the excitement is genuine, that she has the skill, intelligence, and heart to defeat sporting icons, and that her rating is entirely merited. Without a doubt, Zhang Shuai will reorganize. She is simply too outstanding of a champion to allow this setback to mark the end of her career. However, she would realize that she was just defeated by the superior player when she leaves the court today. A player who embodies women's tennis's brilliant, unstoppable future. Eala's racket was a magic wand, her footwork was poetry in motion, and her strategic execution was impeccable. Alexandra Eala formally put the entire WTA Tour on notice on this day. Hey! In order to really understand the significance of Alexandra Eala's triumph over Jingai for the larger story of the 2026 tennis season and the future of the sport, we must take a step back as we conclude our in-depth analysis of this extremely startling and momentous match. At the BNP Paribas Open today, we saw more than simply a round of 64 victory. We saw a clear change in the tectonic plates of women's tennis. It makes perfect sense that China and the larger Asian tennis community are experiencing complete shock. A moment of introspection is required when a player of Jingai's enormous caliber, who has represented Asian tennis with such dignity and strong competitiveness for well over 10 years, is soundly defeated. Zhang is a champion. With a foundation of Grand Slam titles, doubles, and memorable gritty runs and singles, her legacy is completely safe. However, sport is an unrelenting march forward by definition. When the younger generation does show up, it usually does so with deadly power. That destructive energy is personified in Alexandra Eala. She made a statement with her performance today. The 20-year-old Filipino wonder, who is now ranked 31st in the world, has demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that she belongs on the grandest platforms by fighting against and outperforming the most well-known figures in the sport. With incredible skill, she managed the strain, the desert weather in California, and the tactical difficulties presented by an experienced opponent. Eala believes that this competition will be a crucial part of her already amazing 2026 campaign. The rest of the locker room is simply terrified by the level of confidence with which she has handled her opening match. The whole Philippines is observing, applauding, and speculating about her potential. This is the culmination of her journey from the ITF circuits to her debut at the Miami Open, her trophies, and her Grand Slam main draw triumphs. She is no longer the underdog. The hunter is her. The journey doesn't get any simpler in the future. It actually becomes more steeper. Eala now probably anticipates a huge third-round match after securing this historic victory. There is a very real possibility of a rematch with Coco Gauff, the fourth-ranked player in the world and an American prodigy. We can all recall that Gauff won their match in Dubai a few weeks back. Eala, however, picks things up quickly. An entire epic is set in motion by the information she learned from that setback and the tremendous confidence she has gained after demolishing Jingai today. Indian Wells courts will be completely crowded. We will witness the true height of Alexandra Eala's ceiling, and the atmosphere will be electrifying. I sincerely appreciate you coming along for this in-depth analysis of one of the most unexpected and important games of the year thus far. Even though we are only in the second round, the 2026 BNP Paribas Open is already producing incredible drama.